Good morning, Matthew. Tara Christie, Banyan Gold, reporting from the Metal Investor Forum here this morning in Vancouver. Our first in-person conference that we're attending. We have our new banner behind us and we're ready to rock. Expecting over 300 people here today in person. So, it could be really great for us to tell the story for Banyan. Great progress we've made this year. We're over 36,000 meters since we put out that resource, 26,000 meters this year alone, and 3 drills still turning today. So pretty exciting for us, and it's great to be out here to tell the story for shareholders.
I bet. Is that the first conference of the year, physical conference?
First physical conference, yep.
Is everyone excited and pumped and psyched and all of those things?
Well, I don't know. It's going to be a little different. Not quite sure how people will feel about masks, and there's a few things that I'm sure we'll see how it runs. So cases in BC are pretty low comparatively on a population basis. So maybe we'll have more attendance. And yeah, this is the newsletter forum. So, Gwen Preston is the newsletter writer that invited us to this conference. So, I think that's great. This is our first in-person conference where she's talking about us and we're on her panel. So, I think it's going to be really interesting. There's conference rooms with all the chairs and stages for people to talk. I haven't done that in a while. I've had so many Zooms but not a lot of where you actually stand up in front of a real live group of people.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very different feel and mood, I think. And people are very excited. We're going to one next week in London. I think people are kind of excited to actually see each other. But tell us who's there and what you're expecting to get out of it. Why have you turned up?
Well, I think it's a really exciting time for gold. We're seeing the gold prices up the last few days. I think people are starting to realize inflation is real. We've spent the last 3 years really developing our AurMac project, and we're now at a stage where we're confident we're building ounces. We're coming out with that resource update in Q2 with lots of drilling into it. So I think it's a good time to be out talking to shareholders and the retail level, because I think people actually coming in here, my cab driver was asking me about gold. And then, the first thing downstairs, I had the man who was showing me to where the right place to go was just asking me about gold. So, that's a very small litmus test, but certainly it is, shows that people are starting to think about gold and resources as being important. And they are important as part of the green economy that all our governments are talking about as well.
Yeah, it's definitely flavor of the moment. We've obviously got Fed announcement this week, kind of helped in terms of the conversations around inflation. We've got Goldman Sachs actually talking about gold as well. So I guess it's sort of going to hit the streets strong and hard over the next few weeks before Christmas. But how do you take advantage of that now in this show? Does your message change?
We're still giving the same message. We are a solid science-driven explorer, spending money well, delivering value for shareholders, and it'll come. I'm not, and this is an opportunity to connect with some retail investors, remember how to do these shows again. We went to Beaver Creek, but that was very different. It was one-on-one. It wasn't this big retail network. And those are sophisticated investors that know the mining space. So this is a different audience. And, connecting is a little bit different. You're less technical, a little bit more overview. And it takes time. Investors need to hear the story and they need a little bit of time to then hear the story again, follow up, do their own research. So I think, coming to this kind of a show is a start. And then, you do all the follow up and try and get people invest. There's lots of stories to invest in. And why is ours different? Well, I think we've got the great advantage of having a project in a tier 1 jurisdiction with infrastructure. We're targeting that 3 million ounce resource level, which I think makes a project significant in the Yukon. And we are very similar to our 2 neighboring mines in that we're in a jurisdiction where you can permit potentially an open pit heap leach mine, just like Victoria Gold. And many people know the Victoria Gold story. And as they're starting to cash flow, people understand the value of bulk tonnage heap leach projects. And the fact you can permit it in the Yukon, and it's been done recently, shouldn't be overlooked. That permitting is a challenge in many parts of Canada and the world. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw a press release this week. It was mainly affecting Saskatchewan uranium miners, where the First Nation put out a note saying they had not been through a meaningful consultation process, and they were not happy. And they named names So, I mean, it is very, very important. I know you're a big advocate of that, and you spent a lot of time and money over the last 10 years working on that. I mean, what was I don't know if you saw that note, that article, or aware of it. What was your reaction?
Working with First Nations is really important. It's something we take very, very seriously. So, I don't know the specifics of how the company was working with the First Nation, what the challenges are, but, we make it our business to understand what's important to the First Nation we're working with, having continual and open communication with them. That is part of what you need to do in the modern world and permitting. And I think that's something that we take it very seriously. We work with the Nacho-Nyak-Dun First Nation. We use some of their businesses which support our exploration. It is a changed world. And the Yukon has its own environmental assessment and permitting process, which really recognizes that we have self-governing First Nations in the Yukon. And so that's so important to have that relationship going in, and a very different structure than what happens in Saskatchewan. So. And I get asked questions about it all the time.
Well, yeah, I think people are suddenly starting to realize, we've had people in the past saying, well, why do you even bother talking about jurisdictional risk, or why do you talk about First Nations? And I think it's coming home to roost now, certainly within the context of the bigger and wider ESG initiatives, driven by the funds themselves. But look, I also want to talk to you, because I know you're just about to start the day there. So I just wanted to catch you before you got all of these people coming in. Since we only spoke recently, but you put out your Q3 exploration update. You've got 3 drill rigs running. I mean, what's the news?
Well, just we're waiting for the next results. We'll have our Aurex Hill results, but we've drilled over 120 holes, so we'll have another 90 holes from this year's drilling. So lots of news flow to come from us. We'll plan to drill till the middle of December, which will get us probably another 5,000 to 6,000 meters with the 3 drill rigs we have turning right now. We've started for the US QB listing, so that our US shareholders, it's not a full US listing, but the pink sheets are having the changes that the US regulators have decided to do, which has made it more difficult for some juniors. So we've started to work on that, and we're continuing to do our metallurgy. We're doing our ESG community consultation. You'll see us working with the First Nation through the winter and the fall when they also have time, and we're setting ourselves up for next year. And as we get those results, we'll start to show you what our drill plans are and get ready for that resource update, which we're really excited about.
You've got to do, because it's always you and me. Show me some of the team. Who have you brought along? What are they focused on?
Over here is my team. So Jasmine just started this week. Hello. Corporate Communications, my new VP, and Valerie Holland's been working for me about a year in the head office. So nice to actually have a team here at the booth. Hopefully,
we're excited to be here in person.
This is Matthew.
Hey, hello, how are you? You excited to be at a conference for the first time in a long time?
Yes, excited to actually see people, real
shareholders, and hopefully real investors as well. Well, nice to meet you guys. It was nice to see the faces behind behind Tara, helping her deliver. So good luck today. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. And you can see the conference room over here starting to get busy. You can hear that people are starting to come in. And over here is an actual podium with actual chairs where we'll be presenting at 10 a.m. this morning.
There we go. Fantastic. Well, Tara, thanks for picking up the phone. Just wanted to catch you before everything kind of kicked off there. And actually, quite frankly, I'm sort of intrigued. I need to get back up to speed myself for next week.
Well, enjoy the one-to-one.
Okay.
Talk to you again.
See you again, Tara. Cheers. Bye.
Bye for now.